Good morning, everyone. Maybe it's not morning when you're watching this, but it's morning for me. It's about 20 minutes past 8 in the morning on the second Sunwait. So it's Thursday, the 21st of November, and it's 1 month until the winter solstice. So approximately a bit more than 4 weeks left, and we are, as I said, in the second Sunwait. So this setup is for putting my candles on when I've lit them. But so I'm gonna talk a little bit about uh, the second candle. So you remember this one from last week, or Urus, and then we have Tush or Thurisas. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, and then I'm gonna show you the setup before I set it up here, and then I'm gonna talk about the books that I'm currently reading, just shortly, because I did a video just a couple of days ago where I talked about the books I finished because I needed to get them back to the library. So I am gonna just mention the book from last week as well, even though I've already talked about it in that video, I think. So, and then I will finish off by opening my packet for today, my book, The Reason We're Here. So, yeah. So this is Tush or Surisas. So, I just made some hot chocolate. Not because it has something to do with Sunwait, but I live in an apartment and we have a communal laundry place. Like it's not just one room, it's several rooms, but I have some, I have laundry going. So when I came back, when I went from that door to our door, someone was making hot chocolate. I could sense the smell, and it was so wonderful. And I was like, must have. So, so I just couldn't not. Okay, so uh, Tush or Thurisas is the second rune of the Uthark that I work with, and the second candle I'm gonna light for this Sunwait. And so this rune contains so many different aspects, and it's mainly the rune of the giants in the Norse mythology or the Nordic tradition. So in our creation story, the rune from last week was the energy, everything that it takes to create the Big Bang, right? So everything that we in that room we gather all the resources, everything is there. It just hasn't been born yet, and then it's born. And when it's being born, so when the world and the universe is being born, the giants, the energy of the giants, the force of the giants is the one. It is what just throws everything out into the universe so that it can find its place. So it's this almost destructive force. It can feel destructive, but it's not. It's necessary for creation. So it's also a symbol of everything that we go through that we feel are destructive but necessary before we can enter something new. It feels like we're entering something new when we enter the next room that I'm going to talk about next week. But we actually have already entered the new. We are just simply in the reorganizational forces and the time of reorganization to adjust to our new state of being and the new life that we are living. So in the creation story of the runes, it's simply just this massive force So on one hand, it's simply this massive force that is just throwing everything out into the abyss, or what feels like the abyss, you know, just willy-nilly into the universe. But there's so much more in this rune. It's an amazing, powerful rune, and the key to this rune and to the forces that it entails are to be your own giant, to be both in control of the process and also surrender to the process that's at hand. So I feel at first I was like, well, this rune doesn't really apply right now, but here in Sweden, where I live, we have these, we call them King Bore, so King Bor or Kung Bore. He's the one that comes with the snow and the ice and everything, and so he's at his prime right now because it started snowing yesterday where I live. So I live in the middle of Sweden. So the northern Sweden already had the first snow like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and right now apparently the rest of Sweden is, because the south of Sweden usually don't really have much of a winter. It doesn't stay very long. This might not stay, and that's coming now. There might be some, there probably will be some thawing in the middle and before winter kicks in for real. But so right now, like all of the middle and south of Sweden are being layered with snow, and it's not like gentle snowflakes dripping down. Oh no, it's heavy winds, it's a storm. So I only have to walk from one doorway to the next to get into the laundry room. But those like 10 meters that I have to walk, I had to like brace myself to get back to my own door. So and it picked up really fast just between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. And now I'm looking out and the trees are, you know, starting to swaying a lot, like the bigger trees are swaying a lot, and they will probably start like doing this later today. It's gonna be 26 meters per second. I don't really know what that is in like, what do you use? What's the other one? Not miles per hour. Yards? I have no idea. I have no idea. So these forces are at work right now. That's what I'm talking about. So we are in the middle of the forces of this rune, of things being just thrown away. No, not thrown away, but thrown around outside and in the world we're living in. And that is to make room for winter, you know. So I look forward to the next room with next week, that is order after chaos. So now I'm gonna just show you my setup with my my tray, and then I'm gonna light the candle and I'm gonna start talking about books again. Okay, so here you can see it a little bit. So here's my hot chocolate. Here are actually my runes, and this is my rune cloth, and this is my candles, and then I have the other one here then. So they're gonna be like this later today. So, and here my pile of book packs, and here's a napkin. So this is my setup, and in the middle I have my little koala. It's Silver Sheen Obsidian. Koala is my middle name. So yeah, that's my setup for today. Okay, so I'm back. And I'm gonna light my candle. I'm gonna do a little bit like this so I'm more comfortable. I'm sorry for messing around. Okay, so I'm gonna light my Thurisas candle first, but I'm gonna put it on the cloth. I forgot about this. So I'm gonna have to do this. So apparently my candles won't light until I actually sound the room. Okay, so we're gonna have that lit while we are talking a bit about books. I'm gonna maybe move this a little bit so it's more in the corner. Alrighty then. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about books in the order I started reading them. So this is a book that I have actually read for some time. I'm halfway through. I'm actually kind of precisely halfway through. Maybe not. So this is Breeding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and this is a non-fiction book with indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teachings of plants. I'm so glad it had like an undertitle. So I paused this a while back because I needed to get some more of this because I'm annotating it. So now I can finally continue annotating it. I think it was a month ago that I paused it. So this is on my list for my end of the year tag. This is a book I really want to finish before the end of the year because come on. So I'm looking forward to continuing this, and I will talk more about it when I'm finished with it, but it's so thick because it's knowledge, and it's like the the author has filled it with small little stories with the teachings in each story. So each chapter are like 4 or 5 stories, and so there's a lot to take in. So I'm taking my time with it, but I can finally continue. So I'm happy about that. And then I started reading Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne Jones, and I'm actually loving this book. I did watch the movie, like I'm serious now. I'm serious. A long while ago. I don't know when it came out, but it's been quite a while because I didn't watch it with my current partner. I watched it before. Way before. So it was a long time ago when I watched this movie. And I've completely forgotten like everything about it. My brain doesn't store that kind of information. So I'm really enjoying this book. I'm actually impressed by my lack of memory of the movie because I enjoyed the book so much. So I must have enjoyed the movie, or I mustn't have, but I think I would have. And I don't remember. But I think maybe I was more focused on other things when I watched it. I don't know. So anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through, I think. I'm at page 242 out of, well, I haven't written that down, but that's wonderful. I usually do. Put it in the beginning. So it's 429 pages, and I said I was 242. So yeah, I'm a bit over halfway. And I'm reading this for the book club with Caroline Marie Reads on Fable. I don't remember the name of the book club, but I will put it in the description box. And I will try and link her channel if you wanna know more about it and join maybe. So it's a book club on Fable, and this is the first book that we read together. And we're currently voting for December's book. So we can discuss this chapter by chapter, and it's so fun. It's so fun being so interactive about a book and really just, when you read a book and you react to it with like, oh, no, what? now I can put those things into words, and other people will be, yeah, I know. And in real time. So I have been a part of, like, in real life book clubs before, where we met, face to face and discussed the book that we read. But it's a completely different thing to discuss a book while you're reading it, like chapter by chapter. And I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying it a lot. So this might be one of my new faves for this year, and it's like a children's book, I think. So I'm actually surprised. But I enjoy the pace of it. I enjoy getting to know the characters. I enjoy the story. I enjoy, like, each little chapter has a storyline in itself, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's a great way to read this book, I think. So yeah, I will save my recommendations for when I'm finished with it. But for now, I can really recommend being part of a book club in the way I am on Fable. So yeah, I will put the name of the book club in the description box, and maybe you can join us for next month. Okay. So, and then I had a book on reserve at the library. So where I live, if a book is not available at if they have it, if the library owns the book but it's not available because someone else has it, you can put it on reserve, so you're in a queue for it. So I've been in a queue for this book 2 times, because the first time I didn't really have time. So when it came to my turn, I didn't really have time to read it because it's a thick one and it's a non-fiction. So I actually I think I had it at home for a few days, and I realized I'm not gonna get to this. And then I just put it back so that the next person in line could get it after me. Let's see if I can drink this without getting all brown lip. I should have added cinnamon. Okay. Okay, so this is The Body Keeps the Score, but it's the Swedish translation, and it's a really good translation at that. It's really well made. It's really thought through, the translation. So this is a really thick book. It's about trauma. So let's see if the entire title is the original title is in here somewhere. It only says The Body Keeps the Score, and it's by Bessel van der Kolk. And like the smaller title, I don't know what that's called in English, is called Brain, Mind, and Body during healing after psychological trauma. So that's it. It's wonderful that the author has been able to concise all of this into that title, because it's thick, and it's, yeah. So it sounds like this. I'm gonna try and translate the back of it. A groundbreaking scientist changes our way of understanding the psychological trauma, at the basis, uh, and put forth a bold new paradigm for healing it. Traumatic experiences are a part of life's inevitable realities. Many people have been subjected to physical, mental, or sexual violence and what's kränkning? Violations. They have grown up with substance abuse, survived accidents or illnesses, or has in other ways been in situations that has caused traumatic stress. So it's like a book on PTSD. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, one of the world's foremost experts, most expert. I don't know what främsta is in English. So one of the world's experts in trauma injuries has worked for more than 3 decades with patients with PTSD. In this book, he uses the modern science progress to show how the psychological trauma literally reshapes both body and mind. This decreases the person that has been subjected to it, their ability to feel joy, commitment, self-control, and trust. In this book, we are exploring innovative treatments from neurofeedback to meditation to drama and yoga, to theater and yoga, I think it's going to be, that holds new paths to rehabilitation through activation of the brain's natural neuroplasticity. How comes sometimes the harder words are the most easy to translate? Yeah, so I'm not gonna read the rest. But anyway, so this is a book on PTSD and the progresses in medicine through the years. It's like in the beginning we're talking like 1901, but it's not going through it chronologically like that. It's going through different aspects of trauma and different aspects of how it affects the body and mind and brain. So the one thing I don't really see is the soul. So for you who don't know, I'm a shamanic practitioner, and we work with the soul as well. So we work with the body, mind, and soul, and in a holistic view. And this book talks a lot about the things that I know from my shamanic practice to be true. But so far I've only read like I've read like 60 pages, and I think it's 400. How many pages? I did put it at the beginning. 367 of these pages are actually the book. Then in like appendix and there's a lot of footnotes and that sort of thing. So I've read 60 pages, so I've read 1/6 of it, and so far I can really recognize a lot of things that we're working when I work from a shamanic perspective. And I also am a person who has gotten the diagnosis of PTSD in the past after it was actually after one specific trauma, but I did have it before that. The diagnosis isn't available in Sweden, but I have complex PTSD. So that's the diagnosis I got. I have worked with it, body, mind, and soul, in a lot of different ways to rehabilitate myself and to treat it. And I've come a long way. I've come a long way, and I can do things today that I couldn't 10 years ago. And so that's been quite a journey. And I'm probably going to talk about it at some point on my other channel. So I'm going to link my other channel at the bottom of this video for you who are interested in the shamanic path. So I really wanted to read this because I've heard so many great things about it. And it's wonderful to see that some things are recognized in science that we who work from a holistic point of view already knows. And it's also talking about the fact that pharmaceutical medications have done a lot of good, but also the industry around it has really tipped over and isn't really doing good anymore, and in the ways that it's not. And it's really an objective eye on everything, and it's wonderful to see, because a lot of medical practitioners, they talk about pharmaceutical medicines like end all be all, like it's a cure all for everything. And my point of view has always been there's a time and place for everything. Everything has its time and place in your recovery and in your healing. And I am that kind of person that looks to other ways first, first of all. But I have been through regular therapy. I have done EMDR therapy, which is eye movement and desensitization rehabilitation therapy. Took me a while to be able to say that. And during the course of that, I took some. I had to take some sleeping pills because I did it. I did it like 3 times as a total. The night before we were gonna do a big breakthrough kind of work. So we had a breakthrough, we paused, and then I had a good night's sleep, and then we could work on it together, me and the therapist. And I've used so 3 times in total, I think I used it, and I use my point of view is there's time and place for everything. But me personally, I want to do as little as possible to poison my own body. So, and I also want to be aware of everything. And maybe that's that's something because I need it to maintain control, which I'm working on. So, but I really like the the objectivity, and I really like that it's going through all aspects. And some of the what's it called? Some of the things that they do to people and animals in different studies. That's the word. In studies, some of the studies that they are talking about in this book is heartbreaking. But you can also I understand on an intelligent level. I understand that it was necessary for breakthroughs and success to do that. My only concern is that people can give consent. Animals, I would say that animals might be able to give consent, but most humans can't ask for it in a way that we can't explain to an animal, this is what we're gonna do to you, and you're gonna feel this, and this is for our benefit, not yours. And so I am against animal studies because I think it's cruelty towards animals. So on an intelligent level, I can understand that people feel the need for it in certain ways and for certain reasons. But on an emotional and human level, on a humane level, I don't condone it. So sometimes when I'm reading this book, I'm like, no. But it's interesting, and I'm gonna keep reading it. I have set a goal to read 28 to 29 pages a day to be able to read it before I need to return it to the library. Because it's really interesting. I have a lot of great quotes already that I have tabbed, but I don't think I want to read it again when I'm done with it. So I don't want to own it. I'm pretty sure I don't want to own it. I do already own a book on PTSD because I have been a part of a study. So I walk my talk, I am pro studies on humans that give consent, and I have given my consent to be in pharmaceutical and medicinal studies in the past. So I have a book that has the results of that study that I was a part of. That's the only book on PTSD I've got. So yeah. This is very interesting indeed. The Bessel van der Kolk, The Body Keeps the Score, #1 New York Times bestseller. I bet. Okay, so last week's book is actually underneath here. So we'll have to do like that. So last week I opened the first blind date with book, or like Sunwait Calendar book, and it was Nini Schulman, The Girl with Snow in Her Hair, and I DNF'd this. I don't remember how many pages in, but like a quarter to a third in, and the I liked the story, but there were bits and parts of it that I can't really handle. It didn't have any. I'm actually gonna give this to a secondhand store, and I put some trigger warnings at the front because it's got explicit descriptions of SA and trafficking, and I can't. I just can't. So I DNF'd it, and with the thought that I might try other books from this author because I have read from this author before and liked them. So I might read more from this author and look for something that hopefully isn't, SA or trafficking. I might just read from recommendations in the future from this author. So I won't pick up any at random at the secondhand store anymore because it's not worth it in case there's similar themes in it. So this is the book from last week, and I've DNF'd it and I put it here with another book that I'm gonna give back to the secondhand store. So all right, I'm gonna open the pack. The pack. Okay, so I have my books here. So I'm gonna pick a random one. Just so who of you wants to join me today? Not this one. Maybe this one. So this one it is. I'm gonna put the other ones back over here. Okay. And we're gonna open this one. Can you please tell me? Do you have any SA or trafficking or other horrible themes? No? Okay, thank you. Let's hope. Let's hope. Last week I was like, I really want a feel good. I don't want that. Well, I didn't know that it was gonna contain those things, but I didn't want a crime novel. But I got a crime novel, so I'm not gonna ask for a specific today. I would be surprised, not pleasantly, if any of the other books contain the trafficking. I'm not gonna be able to preserve this paper and use it again. I'm not gonna, so I'm just gonna rip it open. I just could feel it now. I'm not gonna be able to. Oh, good. I just saw the red and I was like, oh yeah, Christmas. Okay, let's see. So it's by Amanda Hellberg. Oh, it's another Swedish author, I think. No, it says Oxford at the back. Let's see. But it is a Swedish book. Okay, it is a Swedish book because it doesn't have an original title. But there are two more books in this suite. Oh, it's the second one in a series, but it says it's standalone, so I can read it. So okay, so it's called Christmas in Ruby Red, which is, I'm just thinking that her dress is green. By Amanda Hellberg. So Amanda Hellberg, if you want to do it in English, but Amanda Hellberg, a Swedish author. But she did the acknowledgement and thank you notes she did from Oxford in 2021. It says at the back. So this is one of the books that I was like, Christmas, let's pick this one. So I think I read some of it at the back, but I was like, okay, sounds good, let's take it. So I'm gonna read it again for you. Sweden, 1888. Nina Svartensköld. I don't know what she is. We'll call her a duchess. That seems like a, because there's some kind of royal title here. Nina Svartensköld is a duchess at Dackestad. Outwardly, she has seen it all. She has it all: husband, children, a nice, gynnad tillvaro, a privileged life. Yeah, at the mansion. But behind closed doors, the marriage is an unhappy one. Every day is a struggle, and she's dreaming of another life. Well, okay, let's see if it goes upwards. When the charismatic artist and private tutor Johan Mahler arrives to teach the son and to live at the estate, the unthinkable happens. Nina falls in love, and the feelings are mutual. When the winter darkness comes, I'm not gonna try and make this more beautiful. I can't translate this beautiful language, but when the winter darkness comes, the love affair, secret love affair's flame burns brighter, but the risks are huge. If the countess, yeah, countess, if the count knows the truth, Nina will lose it all. Christmas is approaching. The tree shall be dressed for the Lucia ball. I don't know if you celebrate Lucia. And it turns out that more than one at this mansion is carrying a forbidden longing. Christmas in Ruby Red is a wordplay on the flame here. It's a crackling love story that tinders with longing, passion, and free freedom. It's the second standalone book in Ultuna-sviten, Ultuna series. The first book is called Christmas in Crinoline. I don't know if crinoline is the same in English, but I'm gonna look that up. So I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna look that up until next time. Especially if I want to read more books in this, I'm gonna have to find them, and then I'm gonna, yeah. So I will let you know next week what I think about this one. So the fun thing, not funny but fun thing about this Sunwait calendar that I've given myself is that I've really just picked books at random, and more than not, I have picked books by authors I haven't read before. So because I tend to, if I like a book, especially like a feel-good book with a Christmas theme, I tend to, read the other ones from the same author just, and immediately. I like to binge. So most of these books are from authors that I might have tried before, like Nini Schulman. Didn't get me anywhere though. Or not at all. And I think I've heard good things about Amanda. I really do. But it's also like I've heard good things about her from authors that I don't like. So I've been hesitant, and I haven't really wanted to spend a lot of money on her books. So this was like a really good way to sample, to just find one of her books in a small paperback at the secondhand store. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So let's see what this is about. And I had such a hard time when I was at the library last time. I wanted to borrow so many books per usual, but I didn't because I was like, no, Thursday is upon me soon, and I'm gonna open a pack and I wanna have time to read it. So I just stuck with this. Well, I actually borrowed another book, the second book in a Beautiful Creature series. So I'm gonna buddy read that with a friend. So, but that's all. After that, I'm gonna read The Red Queen. I have to return The Red Queen by the 4th of December, so I have like 2 weeks to read that one. So, let's see where we get with this one, shall we? And I will get back to you. So, I'm gonna, if I like it, or maybe if I don't like it as well, I'm gonna look it up and see if it's translated into English for you guys. So with that said, I will see you again soon. I don't think I will be going to the library before next week. I'm not sure if next week, I think next week's video is going to be later in the day because I might be going to the dentist in the morning. So this time next week, I will be in the dentist chair. And I may or may not be you know, like this or like this for 5 hours. Last time I went to the dentist, last Thursday, in the afternoon, the dentist said, "Yeah, it should light up in like 3 hours, no problem. You should be able to have dinner." No, 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 I wasn't able to have dinner that day. I had to go to bed on an empty stomach because I couldn't. It was no. I think dentists are always so optimistic. They're like, "Oh, you can just go about your day," and while you're sitting there like, "Huh? Huh? What did you say?" You know. So so we'll see about next Thursday. I might do this on Wednesday evening, just in case. We'll see. So have a lovely week and weekend. I will see you soon. I will record the Swedish version of this in just a few moments as well. I'm just gonna go down to the laundry room for a moment or two. Tjingeling!